Alright, hey there guys. My name's Wilfred and I'm a senior math tutor. Today I'll be covering 11 questions surrounding algebra and mathematics. A little bit of backstory upon myself. I graduated from master with a major in biochemistry and a minor in mathematics. And yeah, if you have any other issues with your mathematics homework or with your tests or quizzes or assignments, just submit them on OneClass through the portal and we'll get to them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for listening and let's begin. Okay, so the first question reads, graph the linear equation 3x plus 2y equals 12. So when it asks us to graph a linear equation, it asks us to basically interpret this line equation that we're given and put it onto a Cartesian plane. So we're going to first set up our Cartesian plane, and as usual, we're going to label the axes here, okay? So this is the x-axis and the y-axis. So usually people write the line equation as follows. So people usually write the line equation as y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept of the line. In this case, they gave us a different form of the equation, but we can still utilize this form to find our graph. And how we're going to do this is that we're going to try to find 2 points of the line. If we're able to find 2 points of the line, then we are able to graph the line entirely. So the 2 points that we're going to find are the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the line. Okay, and these are the easiest points to find because the x-intercept is where the line intercepts the x-axis. And that point is when y is equal to 0. On the other hand, the y-intercept is when the x is equal to 0, and it shows us where the line intercepts the y-axis. So all we really have to do is to set x to be equal to 0 and solve our equation, and set y to equal to 0 and solve our equation for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. And I guess the alternative method that you guys can use is by rearranging this equation to the standard form and finding the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so we're going to do what the junior tutor does. Okay, so first we're going to calculate the x-intercept. I'm just going to write it short as x-int. Okay, so we're going to set y to be equal to 0. And if y is equal to 0, we get this. 3x plus 2 times 0 equals 12, okay? And we got 3x equals 12 and x equals 4. Therefore, x-int is 4 and 0. Okay, cool. So let's set the let's find the y-intercept, okay? So we're going to set x to be equal to 0. If you set x to be equal to 0, we get 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 12. Okay? And that equals 2y equals 12. And divide both sides by 2, and we get 6. So therefore, y-int is 0 and 6. Okay, so if we were to look at our Cartesian plane here, we're going to just label the units on here too. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 1, and all the way up here, maybe up here we'll have 6. Okay, so our y-intercept is 0 and 6. So we're going to put this. We're going to put a point here to signify that one of the points on our line is 0 and 6. And the other point is 4 and 0, which is here. Okay, so if we were to draw a line from here to here, we would get our graph. So I'm going to try to draw a line as carefully as I can. Okay, also you want to draw the line past these points because a line continues on the x-axis continuously. Okay, that's our line. I'm sorry about the squiggliness of it, but that's how you graph the linear equation from the 2 points of the line, which are the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Alternatively, you guys can rearrange this line equation. So we have 3x plus 2y. So we're going to set it into the standard form that we have here. So we're going to move our x to the right hand side and isolate for y. So if we do that, we get 2y minus 3x plus 12. And we want to isolate for y, so we have to divide both sides by 2, and we get negative 3 over 2 x plus 6. So this is our y-intercept, which corresponds to our graph here. And this is a negative slope of 3 over 2, or 1.5. And this is consistent with our graph here because we notice that our line equation, or our graph, is negatively sloped as it's angled towards the negative side. So that's how you graph the linear equation. Given these two different methods, they both produce the same graph in the end. Okay, so this solution is correct. Good work. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question